let's talk today about the most common mistakes that I see on Rebirth. I've got 7 mistakes that I constantly see, and we're going to be taking a look at those while also spectating some quads here. One of my favorite things to do, allows me to really see, you know, what are people doing well? What are they not doing well? So the first mistake that I see is going to be lack of early game execution. Now, I don't want to spend too much time on this because I talk about it all the time. You need to play as a squad early, you know, have good comms, try to land in the same spot every single game, find a gun you're comfortable with, and win your early games so that you can get loadout. Loadout is the biggest advantage that you can have. And as soon as you get loadout, that's going to give you an advantage over, you know, people who don't have loadout, people who are struggling to win their early games. So right here, they've got $13,000. They should 100% stop what they're doing, buy loadout. He's going to go down right here, which is okay. It looks like we're in kind of a sweaty lobby here, so this will give us a good sense of how to deal with sweaty lobbies as well. Now, the second thing that I want to talk about, because this does directly apply right now, so first one's going to be lack of early game execution. Second one is going to be centering. Notice where his crosshairs are. I'd like to see them a little bit higher, because if somebody peeks around the corner, I want you to hit that first shot at a high damage area. A lot of you have your crosshairs centered at the ground, which means when you aim in, the first shot that you take on somebody is going to be shooting toes. This is something that you can immediately work on. So when you drop in this weekend, work on that right there. Work on having your crosshairs a little bit higher. We've got $7,200 here with Apache. He's got the Blixen. You know, part of early game comfortability is finding a gun that you are comfortable with and then starting to focus on what's going on around you. I think a lot of you do two things. One, you're too focused on crates that you miss people actually around you. And the second is you're not totally comfortable with floor loot. You're always thinking about, oh, what gun is that? What gun is this? Once you get a gun that you're comfortable with, the Blixen, the Cooper, you know, the Automaton, something that you feel good with, you can start to focus on enemies around you and winning that early game. Now, they're clearly not playing as a squad here. He only needs $300 for loadout, and then you can start to get that momentum. You know, when we talk about kind of breaking down a game of Rebirth, what I really look to do is get my loadout as soon as possible, and then in first circle, I look to take advantage. Did he buy it? Why is he driving over here? Just throw it. No, he should just throw this. He's risking dying with a loadout on his body right now. I don't know, I mean, I know what he's trying to do. He's trying to get over to his teammates, but he's risking getting torched out of the car. If he gets team shot right now, they just lost a loadout because he died with it on his body. Just throw it, just throw it, just throw it. Thank you. He just threw it. So first circle, right? Get loadout as soon as possible. Then, hold on, let's focus on what's going on. Let's look at his centering here, his anticipation. He needs to plate up. Good job right here, backing off. I love this play. You know, it's something I do a lot, is kind of backing off and resetting that fight. You know, pull back a little bit. Played up. Oh my gosh, there's a car right there. Don't get run over. Wait, he just jumped over the car. This guy is an absolute... He got him. He got him. Wow, that's actually immaculate. He just jumped over the car. Okay, let's go ahead and push back in. There's somebody right above him. One of the most common mistakes that we'll talk about is going to be minimap. But real quick, by the way, if you are looking to get better at Rebirth or Fortune's Keep, just consider hitting that subscribe button down below. I'm a 4K player. I do videos every single day covering both game modes and tips on how to improve so you can start getting more kills. Notice the centering is at the bottom of the stairwell, not the top, right? That enemy is going to be at the top of the stairwell. You should have your crosshairs up top. Again, focus on centering a lot. Now, once you get that loadout, then we start to talk about a plan of action. We haven't seen that just yet, but a lot of you don't have a plan. So you're not pushing anybody. You're not pushing red dots on the minimap. You're not putting yourself in engagements, which is really why you're struggling to get kills outside of the execution component. Obviously, we need to talk about execution, but a lot of you just aren't putting yourself in enough engagements, and that's specifically for my aggressive players. You know, if you're a 1.52 KD, you need to really start putting yourself in more engagements because you've shown that you can win those gunfights. So at the end of the day, dropping a 20 or a 30 for you is going to come down to putting yourself in enough engagements to get those kills. Now he's getting chased right here. He's going to push down. Yep, be ready. Yep, no, he just got shot in the back. Let's go to Apache. Actually, let's see how he plays this. He's kind of stuck down here. He's got 8 plates. Now he needs to get out of here as soon as possible. This is what I always say, by the way, oh, they didn't stack. Notice there's 2 of them right there. Teams stack when they're in danger, okay? So when teams, and this again is for my aggressive players, if you give away your positioning to somebody, then they're going to come to their teammates that they're in trouble, and that's when teams tend to stack on you. You know, so just keep that in mind. You want to keep that element of surprise. Now, once we get This team's getting absolutely smoked. Absolutely smoked. Absolutely no cover there. So, by the way, let's recap real quick. Mistake number 1 is lack of early game execution. Mistake number 2 is going to be lack of centering. Number 3 is going to be lack of a plan. A lot of you aren't pushing the issue, putting yourself in more engagements, which we did talk about a little bit. But number 4 is going to be a lot of you are too aggressive. I see this far too often where you think you can magically start to 1v3 and 1v4, and you just want to push into a building. You know there's people in there because you're pushing based on information, but you just push wildly in there. You're not thinking about the strategy behind your approach. You're not keeping your element of surprise, and you're just trying to go in and absolutely finesse that team only to get shot by 4 people all sitting in corners, except you knew they were there. So that's where I talk about a lot of you were too aggressive and need to slow your pace down a little bit. Let's go ahead and pick up this next guy right here. Now, mistake number 5 is something that I see from a lot of my less experienced players, you know, people that are still working on improving, which is you linger too much. My aggressive and advanced players, you do this sometimes as well, and there's kind of 2 different situations that I see. People that are improving and people that are still working on getting better, you tend to linger by opening crates. Any crate that you hear, you feel like you have to open. Don't do that. Just keep moving. Focus on what's around you. Focus on enemies. Leave those crates in case you die. This way you know that they're there. Good shots right there. Good shots right there with the Blixen. He's using the Blixen, so down below, go use that mini-map to your advantage, but he's not looking. He should have looted that guy technically, which, by the way, my advanced players, one place that you really struggle is a lot of you tend to over-loot your kills. You got to plate up here. Stop moving for a second. This is where a lot of you panic. This isn't a mistake on my list today, but just slow down. Don't panic right here. Just find a spot that you can plate up, and then you're good to go. There's no reason. You got to plate up here. You know, I don't know why he's not plating. I hear people around, but he's had plenty of time to plate here, and he just goes down there because he never actually played it up. Let's go to the next guy here. This is part of the problem with spectating quads is we never actually get a new team. Notice not anticipating at all, right? No anticipation is a mistake. I see a lot of you make. Not something on my list today, but a lot of you don't anticipate, you know, not ready for people around corners, and you don't anticipate with intent to fight. What I mean by that is a lot of you are starting to get better at anticipation and centering, putting your crosshairs where you think enemies are going to be, but you don't actually trust your instincts and trust that somebody's going to be there, and you're not actually ready to shoot that person. What that leads to, and notice he was ready for that guy, he's able to get that first shot. What that leads to is a lot of you aren't getting that first shot and losing those 50-50s. So, mistake number 5 is going to be lingering. People that are improving, you're lingering too long, looting crates and looting bodies. Aggressive players, you tend to loot too long instead of focusing on that next enemy, focusing on that next kill and what's going on around you. That sometimes causes you to die. Mistake number 6 is going to be mini-map. You know, 2 kind of things here. The first is going to be understanding where enemies are. You know, as you're starting to split a little bit more, you're not necessarily paying attention to that mini-map and understanding where those enemies are immediately after you get that kill. Immediately, because you need to understand, is somebody pushing me? And there's 3 things that you're looking for. How many enemies are around me? Where are they in relation to me? But most importantly, where are they actually pushing to? And I think that's the most important one, because if you have 3 enemies on your level pushing you, that's a wildly different situation than 2 enemies pushing away and 1 pushing you, because you can handle that. You can handle that 1 guy versus trying to have to reposition and handle that 3 stack. So mistake number 6 is going to be, he centered well, he just didn't execute. And we're not going to be talking a whole lot about execution. This is definitely a sweaty lobby right here. You can tell that it's a sweaty lobby. Mistake number 7 is what I'm going to call position to win and putting yourself in a position to win. I've got over 1,500 wins. I've got a 30% win rate while also dropping high kill games. And when I talk about position to win, I'm talking about where's your high ground, where's your power position, where's your cover, not where's your high ground. Where's your power position, where's your cover. Understanding where you need to go to put yourself in the best position possible to win. Now understand, if you put yourself in the best position possible, then you're going to be able to pick up a lot of free kills by holding teams out of circle. So I try to early rotate as much as possible, like right here. When I look at this minimap, I want to be top control, right? Because you can hold all of these teams out of circle, and all these teams are going to be in a bad spot. So I'm going to early rotate this, get over to control, and then hold everybody else out of circle. So 7 mistakes that I'm constantly seeing players make. Lack of early game execution. You're not centering well enough. Focus on, especially this weekend, focus on centering your crosshairs a little bit higher. You don't have a plan. You're too aggressive. You're lingering too much. You're not using your mini-map enough, and you're not putting yourself in a position to win. And like I said, putting yourself in a position to win will allow you to pick up a lot of free kills. Now, right here, you got people to the left. You've obviously got communication tower back behind. And let's go ahead and rotate this because this guy's not doing... Okay, so right here, you have information about where this guy is. He's over across. Meet him in the stairwell. This guy's clearly pushing up, center around the corner. Good anticipation right there. Only thing I would have liked to see is him slide cancel around that corner. That slide cancel makes it a little bit quicker. Allows you to get that first shot off. Allows you to have your crosshairs out. That's where I talk about actually slide canceling around the corner. That allows you to get your crosshairs out, allows you to play quicker. He's got the Blixen. Let's see. We've got 4 other enemies, 2 teams. We don't know what the split is. Could be a 2v2 or a 1v3. Like, well, now we do. So it's a 4v3 situation right here. This guy's on 129 ping. That's unfortunate. Let's rotate this. Let's see what we can find. And look, this is not a good res. Not a good res at all. No reason to res there. It's still a 3v3, even if if that guy dies, it's still a 3v3, and all of a sudden now it is a 3v2. They just lost the advantage. Can we load next player? Yep. You got to find a way to get a knock here. Facebook.gg goes down. Guy up top. Hit your shots. Hit your shots. Nope, you got to reposition. Yeah. Now, look, once again, when I look at this circle, I'm early rotating this. 1v2. Take out your other gun. I'm early rotating this, and I'm just going to hold him out of circle using the tent. You got to use the tent as cover. He's got gas mask, so we actually could late rotate this if he wanted to. Yeah, clutch this, clutch this. Get the thirst. One more. Yep, jump down. 1v1. You can survive that. 1v1. I think you could survive that if you auto mantle. Let's see. He knows where he kind of put the tent between him and his enemy. Good job right there. Yep, you see him. Now you just got to execute. You got to win this 50-50. No, go challenge that. Oh, he still has circle pull. He gets the dub. GG's right there. 9 kills right there. I hope you found today's video helpful. 7 common mistakes. Start to work on these this weekend. I hope you found today's video helpful. Let's get better today, and I will see you tomorrow.